Oh, Shrek, come on, give me a kiss.
People love my blowjob face.
It's a dictionary of dicks. What's wrong with this?
And mostly when I play, I'm like, I'm blowing shit up.
We have a self-jerking machine.
That's hot.
Aw, Mario, stop touching me. I'm your brother Luigi.
Pre-recorded live from across these great United States. Sometimes you like to play with other things, but let's play with ourselves.
I got the giggles.
Is that a bad thing? Like we're doing the podcast, you're like, I can't laugh on this shitcast. Hey everybody, welcome to shitcast number, I don't even remember what number we're on.
23.
Wow.
Doop-a-da-boop boop. Yep. I'm a robot. Beep boop boop. I remember numbers.
Oh, I just assumed like that was like a new, you know, like in Star Trek when they hit the communicator, like that was like on the Starship Pixie Prize. That's what their communicators sound like.
It's true. I had to turn the thing on, and I asked someone on the ship, and then I turned it back off. You heard it. I got the giggles. I'm sorry. Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? It's Chillcast today.
Oh, I was gonna do Angercast. Am I in the wrong mood then?
Oh no, I mean it doesn't take a lot to get me angry today. Ha 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 ha. So you know. Oh, I'm angry that it's Angercast and not Chillcast. There you go. It's Angercast now.
Wait, does that mean you're mad at me because I made it Angercast? I'm like, oh crap.
Nah. So what's up, man? What's been going on with you this week?
Well, I made a list.
Interesting week, man.
Shut up. I made a list of things that I'm like, these are the things I want to talk about on the podcast, and then I just like verbal diarrhea right there. So everybody knows how much I love YouTube, and I'm always saying great things about YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's your baby.
Oh fuck YouTube. Over the last 3 weeks, I've gotten tons of bullshit copyright content IDs. I've gotten, I think, about 30-some in the past 3 weeks.
Whoa, that's... oh, fuck. Jeez.
Yeah, due to the appeal system, you know, you can only have 3 appeals going on at a time, and they take about a month apiece. I literally, in the last 3 weeks, got as many copyright claims as it would take to clear in an entire year if these companies are all assholes, and most tend to be. I'm like, oh my god, the system is so beyond broken.
Jesus.
So that has been incredibly frustrating. And in fact, it's so frustrating. At one moment, I was like, I'm just going to fucking delete my channel right now. I'm like, I'm done. I am... And I calmed down and I thought better, but, you know what? I'm so sick of it that I've started to... I mentioned it last podcast, is I'm doing way less videos now. I'm just like, fuck it. Until they fix the system, I'm not going to spend as much time making YouTube videos.
Well, yeah, why? I mean, freaking... well... I don't want to say unneeded stress, because, yeah, it is unneeded, but at the same time, it's the fucking problem. Do we need a problem? But yeah, that's... I'm sorry. I feel so bad, too, because, like, I don't really get copyright claims, so I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry.
Well, I'm glad you don't. I mean, it's a bullshit system. I mean, we've seen, like, Doug Walker, the Nostalgia Critic, do the Where's the Fair Use campaign, and a bunch of other people. It's amazing. Once he started talking about it, tons of other people have been talking about how broken the system is and all the crap they have to deal with.
I guess it was just that one voice that, like, a lot of people looked up to, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll talk now. I hate YouTube, too. You make me... I mean, like, it's kind of scary now, because, like, all the stuff you're getting, I'm like, wow, it's only a matter of time before, like... Because I already got copyright claims on my Silent Hill 4 LP, which was really weird. They're claiming audio. They were claiming the voice acting, which was really weird to me. Yeah, it was really weird, because, like, there was music that was... Well, I was like, if they're claiming that, why don't they claim the sound effects, too, and the music as well? But no, they only claim, like, parts of the voice acting.
Can I ask who was claiming it?
Konami themselves.
Oh, I don't think I've LP'd any Konami games, so I haven't had to deal with them before.
I have LP'd Konami games, and, like, they haven't done that, so I don't know. Maybe Silent Hill 4, they had, like, a special patent on the voice acting or something? I don't know.
That's shitty and weird.
Konami gave these time marks, and basically what it was is they were claiming voice acting, but they claimed my voice acting, which they do not own. They literally, like, their time marks it included, like, 2 minutes of me just talking to myself and none of the game audio.
Didn't you know you were a Konami voice actress?
I didn't, and you know what? I wish I did, because apparently I could go around claiming my voice in videos and then, like, get money for it, but guess not.
I also upload videos to Dailymotion. Not all my videos, but I'll upload the ones that are quick to upload. So I go on Dailymotion the other day, and recently I LP'd Tube Tycoon.
Oh.
And when I go on Dailymotion, it is blocked. They're like, rejected. And I'm like, what the fuck is this rejected? It's like a G-rated game. My playthrough might have been PG-13. Any music in the background, because the game doesn't have any music currently, was my own music. And so I was super pissed, and I emailed Dailymotion, and literally, like, 12 hours later, I get an email from them, and they're like, it's back up. I hope everything is okay. It's like, they're so much different than YouTube. They're still kind of amateur hour in that they're not as professional as YouTube about things, but that's twice now where, like, I had a video that they were, like, rejected for whatever reason. I emailed them, and then, like, within 24 hours, it was back up and ready to go, not months and months of fighting bullshit like on YouTube.
Now that's service. That's Dailymotion?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, Dailymotion is not as big as YouTube yet when it comes to audience or any of that. But I do get a lot of European viewers because it's based out of France. Like, most of my German and French viewers come from Dailymotion.
That's kind of interesting. How about... Wait.
How about?
No, I'm laughing because it sounded like I was about to shoot you down or something, and I didn't want to sound like that, but I basically was that's real... It just sounded like I was gonna be like, change the subject, but I meant to add to the subject.
I thought you were gonna be like, how about you don't upload and tell me stories about Dailymotion anymore? This is a YouTube podcast. What? I'm sorry.
It did sound like I was gonna do something like that, so I had to laugh. Tone. It's all about the tone. No, what I was gonna say is, Dailymotion, isn't that like, man, like, I wish it could compete with YouTube, and it kind of is, but isn't it still kind of,
It is, relative size-wise, YouTube's a giant, and they're like they would be like a giant auto parts store, and Dailymotion is like your local guy who works on cars, so...
Yeah, that's what I thought. But they seem a lot nicer about things.
Yeah.
What is their, like, do they have censorship?
That is the one thing I don't like about Dailymotion. There's a couple little things, but it's the bigger thing is they are more prudish. I wouldn't have expected that, because, like, growing up, I'd always have European friends be like, oh, you Americans, you can't handle titties, you like violence, but no titties. And I'm like,
True.
But I can't. Dailymotion is a little more prudish, where sometimes I'll put something that's got sex in it that I edit out the visuals, and they're like, no. Whereas YouTube is like, whatever, go ahead, man, I don't care.
Dude, you can get away with some crazy stuff on YouTube.
I put porno games on YouTube that just have, like, the images censored out, and they're just like, okay.
I like how YouTube tries to pretend as if it's, what's the word? Like, trying to have a good image or something, but it's not. They do that. He's just gonna drink some water. Are you still there?
Yep.
Okay, good. I thought I lost you with my interesting comment.
Oh, no. Since we're talking about copyright stuff, too, within the last month, I don't know if you've followed the case. It's an old case now, Universal Music Group against, what was it, Lens versus Universal Music Group, where they sued this lady because she had a video clip of her little kid dancing and there was Prince music in the background. So originally the court ruled that companies have to consider fair use before filing a DMCA takedown notice. If not, they can be penalized. Penis-wise.
Penalized.
So in the original ruling, the judges had been like, automated systems are okay because, there's a lot of stuff to deal with. And then within the last 3 weeks, the judges revisited that and changed the language and pulled out the automated systems. So there's starting to be some chance that maybe things like what YouTube is doing with their automated system maybe will be changed. The other thing that's going on is the U.S. Copyright Office is holding a period right now where they're going to look over the DMCA to see if maybe they should change parts of it. And they had actually recently where you could send comments and be like, what is my opinion on this? And Doug Walker, once again the Nostalgia Critic, put a video up about that. And prior to him doing that, they had maybe like 20 comments. And then after that, now they've got like 80,000 comments from people that they've sent to the Copyright Office to be like, hey, this is why the DMCA is busted, and these are companies abusing it, so maybe something will change in like a year, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little sprinkle of hope.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, well, that's actually really cool. That's some good news. Ish.
It is.
Just have to deal with the stupidness right now, but hopefully, yeah, like, it does change. What's your, well, you know, I was gonna say what's your opinion, but...
I think eventually it will, because these companies that don't want it to change are like the old big music publishing companies.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to go back to the 80s and 90s, pre-internet, where they basically had virtual monopolies and they could charge $15 to $20 for an album and overcharge and stuff. And those days are gone. You're not going to be able to put the internet away because there are millions and millions of people who use it and love it. I mean, you're not going to be able to silence everybody. There's too many people. So eventually,
mouths.
Like little bird babies.
Yeah, they can't see, but they open their mouths even though you're a giant predator.
I hope you mean figuratively and not literally.
I'd
be like, so can I come over now, little girl? You'd be like, Chris Hansen's waiting. Oh.
Is he like, oh, that's great.
He can join in too, I don't care.
That's what I was going to say. Chris Hansen is a sexy devil. Sort of.
I like that we both have the same creepy thought. Well, I wasn't thinking he was sexy, but we're both like, yeah, well, not you too, Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen, now that you're here, why don't you dress like a little girl? Fuck the little girl. I mean, not literally.
You meant Chris Hansen as the little girl before people are... You're like, did I?
Yeah. Never know. It's one of those you turn to the camera and say, what do you think, viewers? Then fades to black.
Before it fades to back, you see Chris Hansen walk in the room in the background dressed like a little girl. Like he had everything ready to go. He's like, this is the whole reason I got into this line of work.
He like walks in as a little girl. He's like, can you have a seat, please?
I was just thinking he would bend... That's better. I was like, he's going to bend over and you're like, oh, that's one hairy little girl ass, you. Shut up. Don't be quiet at that. Then it gets awkward. Like, of all the things, I said the awkward thing.
I was about to say something that would top that awkwardness, like
top
a
that
freaking
ass?
game. Oh, yeah, like a game of Jenga. Like, I'm serious. I was about to say something, and I'm glad I didn't say it. And I'll probably tell you at the end of the podcast.
I always feel bad because I do that too to podcast viewers, and I'm sorry when I do. Sometimes I think about something I'm like, this is the thing you can only tell to a really close friend, or that's the end of your podcast history.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can give a hint. I just don't want to say it. All I was gonna say is, how do you know what X looks like? Is basically what I was gonna say.
Oh,
see, I told you it was awkward. It topped it like a sundae with some maraschino cherries. Do you like maraschino cherries?
No, not really.
They're kind of like the alcohol. Well, see, maybe I gotta try them again. They're like syrupy, alcohol-y cherries. Grossness.
I'm not really into alcoholic fruits. I like the barley and stuff, like whiskey.
Sorry, I'm in giggle mood again.
It's all good.
I was thinking maraschino cherries are so funny. Oh, fuck. Sorry, this should be high cast.
I was going to say, did you get stoned before the podcast? Or you're like, yeah.
I wish. I went out and someone threw a rock at me.
Oh, that's sad.
It's
like
okay,
like old biblical time laws? You're like, whore.
Yeah, whore. But only one person showed up, so I got like...
Oh, what the fuck, man?
He threw a rock at me that was like... one of those sandstones, so it completely exploded on impact. And they were like, oh my god, a witch! And they ran away, and I was like, yeah.
It's very dark, but I wonder if that ever happened before. Where there's a stoning and everybody's like, yeah, I got my rock. And then, like, P.D. McGee whips his rock like, yeah, I'm gonna hurt this whore real bad. Poof! And everybody just stares and like, come on, man, really? And then he's embarrassed. He's gotta run home. Mom, the stoning went bad. They all laughed at me.
I told you to bring rocks from home, but no, you had to go buy some. And that girl's probably still alive because you didn't stone her right. God.
God's gonna be mad at you today. Oh, Mom.
Huge hand comes out of the sky and just smacks him. This guy's having a bad day, but not as worse as the lady's day.
That's what I would love. That's the end scene if it's a sketch. The woman's all bloody on the ground. At least I'm not him.
Yeah, she's like, oh my god, you're dead.
She's laughing too. Dad. That would be the best part in the sketches. Everyone's laughing, and even if she's on the ground, I'm pointing.
Lying on the ground, spitting out blood while she laughs. It's a great mental image. I actually like it. You know what? Sometimes I wish that we had the technology
to stone people.
To see. Oh well. Yeah. Well, scientists have discovered that long ago. We could stone people. Well, I guess sometimes things have to be revisited.
Sorry, you were saying that you wish scientists had the technology to...
Well, I was just thinking about what you said, because I guess every scientist does have to revisit something every so-and-so to get information on, like, to do things and all that. So maybe stone each other again. Fuck. You're right. What was I talking about?
Just that you were like, I wish scientists had the technology to...
what? You know,
look
I wish
back at the
scientists
past
had a lot of them. No, it was something to do... brain. I wish we had a way to, like, take pictures of our thoughts.
Like an animus for real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, wouldn't that be... Because there are so many mental images that I would like to save. There's a lot I wouldn't, but there are some that I would.
It would depend on who could control it. I wouldn't want people to be able to take pictures of my thoughts. Do you ever have, like, a moment, like, when you're hanging out with somebody, and they're talking, and they're like, today I did this thing and this thing, and you're like, oh, man, I'm not listening. I just want to make out with those lips. Like, you wouldn't want anyone to take a picture of that thought in that moment.
It's true. It would be like, would you rather have the technology to do that, but someone else has to have it, or I mean, have control over it, or not have it at all? I wouldn't have it at all, then. Because, you're right, I wouldn't want people... Well, I think of a lot of creepy shit, just like randomly, especially to just randomly see people. I think really scary things, and I don't want to have pictures of that.
When I used to do animation, I would have liked it, though, because there were a lot of times where I would have the image for something in my head, and I'm not great at drawing, and it's like, if I could have had a picture of it, then it would have been easy for me to trace and stuff, but...
Oh yeah, no, pictures are always better in my mind than they are on paper, for me. Also, I think, since I'm not really good at describing things, it might be kind of neat to have the ability to just be like, oh, I had a thought, I'm going to print this out, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. The phrase, oh, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like, literally, you'd be like, here's a brain scan.
Here you go. And it's just a gross wrinkle. That's it.
I imagine you say that, laughing. And then you give it to me, and it's like pictures of stickmen blowing each other. I'm like, really?
And then it just backflips right into...
Chris Hansen?
Which one? Oh, yeah! I need you to sit down, sir. We're sitting down on him, so I guess we beat him to the punch. Yeah.
He's just like a girl. Like, we're both sitting on his lap like he's Santa. It's,
Yeah!
I assume he's got a wig with, like, pigtails or something.
See, this is where the mind printer has to come in, because I have this in my mind. I'm thinking about it right now. It's clear as day.
He's got to have a skirt on then in that situation, too, so...
Yeah, he can wear a skirt, and I just like to think he's, his legs are unshaven, and he still has his high socks and, like, shoes. Yeah. Yeah, he'd make a pretty... Chris Hansen is my guy, though. I don't know. He's not... He makes me feel guilty even though I haven't done anything wrong. It's weird.
Is that a good thing in that situation?
That I haven't done anything wrong?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm naughty.
Yeah, I haven't done anything. I'm just here. And you have my transcripts? Oh, okay. I don't know why the people try
I was trying to work it into like a... Yeah, well, yeah. I think that's what you do when you're cornered, though. I mean, how do you answer? Yeah, I wanted to plow a child,
But at that point, when they literally are just there...
You are fucked at that point.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I would have just been like... Because some of them really do. They just go like, oh, well, fuck, sorry, that was me. Yeah. But some of them were like, I don't know who this girl is. And you're like, why are you in her house then, dude? Like, one person was like, oh, I thought I could hear someone saying help. I'm like, you are so fucked up, dude. God. But Chris Hansen got him. I keep wanting to say Chris Hansen on Hansen. Got him.
You're like, so. Chris Hansen, more like Chris Handsome.
Ho-ho! Mwah. Mwah. And then go back and sit down as he talks to me about my sins. He's You know what? I'm just glad that I'll never be in that situation and that I never have to deal with that, because that would be fucking horrible. And I don't mean being the person sitting down. I wouldn't want I wouldn't want Chris's job. I think that would be like horrifically awkward and horrible.
I'd be afraid somebody would beat me up.
You have camera crew who are bigger than you.
Yeah, but they're not going to get there in time if somebody decides they're going to pull a gun or something.
That's true. I guess Chris does take a pretty big chance, like, scolding pedophiles. He does it so we don't have to. So, would you rather scold pedophiles or not?
I would not want that job. I would feel I'm awkward with people I do know. I'd be way more awkward with that. So, I heard you like to do it with kids. I don't want to talk
and they'll
about
be like,
this.
no, I don't. No, I don't. And you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I guess we could be friends. Paul, come on, he's lying.
That's not what I would do. Oh, you did bring beer and condoms. It'd be a shame if those went to waste.
Choo-choo. Then you both smile and go into a back room.
Yeah, ew.
It's okay, he was lying. He was obviously there for you. Those guys.
You know what the funny thing about all that creepy talk? Is that makes anything else I wrote on the list that I was going to talk about my week, it just doesn't compare. Like, so I played a game.
What do you mean? You played a game? What kind of game?
It's a Napoleon game. It's called Victory and Glory Napoleon. About a decade ago, there was this board game called Napoleon in Europe, released by this really small games publisher called Eagle Games. And I bought it way back when. I don't even know how I found it. And I'd play that with my friends, and it was an awesome game, but it would take like 8-9 hours to play. Ooh. And I always wanted them to come out with a computer version, but it was such a small release, I never expected they would. And then a couple weeks ago, I go on Steam, and I see a game, and I'm like, it's a different name, but it's the exact same fucking board and like mostly rule set of this Napoleon in Europe game. And I went and looked online, and what had happened is the guy who had developed the game for Eagle Games way back when, he must have kept the rights, and then recently he'd done a Kickstarter to release the game again, just with a different name, and at the same time with the Kickstarter, one of their goals was raising enough to release a PC version. I was like, oh my god, I've been waiting like 10 years for this! And so right away I got it, and I LP'd it, and I put it online, and put some more online. It's been a hell of a lot of fun.
Ooh, well that's really swell. I'm happy. That's just a nice story. What do you mean it doesn't compare to you getting it on with...
Well, I was just saying that's a really odd segment to be like, yeah, Chris Hansen and pedophiles, and I played a board game. You're like, oh, that's
But one of your dreams came true, and it's so endearing. I quite like it. That's a happy story for me.
And it was like in a really shitty week, so it was like, everything in this week is shitty, but I like this. Everything else is crappy. This is really nice. And it was really cool to get to play that, and I played it a ton. It's an awesome, fun game, so.
Is it a hard game?
Not really. It takes a bit to understand the rules set, and that's been one of the other nice things, is I didn't expect, it's not huge, it's got a few thousand views. When I put up the LP, like, nobody else knew the game. Because for most people, it's a brand new game. They hadn't experienced it when it was a board game a decade ago. So, with that experience, right away I could LP it, and it's like, oh, I know the rule set, I know about, like, how units work together. And so I was able to put up, like, the first LP that was not, by the developer as a tutorial, that's actually informative and understands the game, which, as you know, being the first often is the difference between getting views and not getting views on YouTube.
Yes. That is really cool. That makes me happy. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
What else did you have on your list?
Have you seen the new Pee-wee film?
I didn't. I told you I was going to watch that too, and I didn't. I'm sorry.
Well,
stone me.
No. Okay.
Okay.
I was just trying to be like, how do I get my rocks off into a stoning joke? And I was like, I waited too long. That's that awkward pause. When you watch it, we will discuss it on the podcast, because I watched it, and it's not Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's not, Tim Burton great, but I really enjoyed it, so.
Oh, well, huh. Was Danny Elfman doing the music and stuff? Or is it all different?
Remember. I don't think Danny Elfman did. It's, yeah.
So it's like, it's new. It's new. Okay, well, yeah, I'll watch it. But you said you kind of liked it? Or you did like it?
I did like it, but I don't want to oversell it, you know? I don't need to get your hopes up too high because it's not the Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But I really enjoyed it myself. I had fun, so.
Alright. Well, that makes me more optimistic about it. I completely... it was one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and then I... for some reason, I don't know if this happens to you, but I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll watch it. What? What am I gonna watch? Like, I completely put it on the back burner and was just like, whatever. And then I completely forgot about it. And I actually felt, this is why I hate anxiety so much, is that I felt anxiety about it like 2 days ago. I was like, you could still watch it. But, no. Like, I kind of freaked out and then missed it. So it'll be nice to watch it and talk about it on the next episode, I suppose.
No pressure. Most of my Netflix list is that way, though. I'll get on Netflix for like 20 minutes and be like, what do I want to watch? Nothing. Oh, that looks good. Put it on my list. Nothing. That looks good. Put it on my list. And then after 20 minutes, I'm like, I don't want to watch anything. And then, like, my Netflix time is just putting things to watch in the future that I normally will never end up watching.
Yeah, that's me too. That's funny. I do have, like, way more stuff on my list than I actually do watch on Netflix anyway. So... okay, well, I've been watching Naruto, which... ugh. Any Naruto fans out there, you know what? It's okay. It's an okay show. It's like, it's anime, so it's...
I thought you meant it was okay for them to be fans. You're like, it's alright for you to be fans.
It's okay for you guys to be fans, too. I can understand being a fan. One of the characters is pretty hot. But, I mean, there's got to be more than just a hot character to make a show good, right? Although, I guess you could probably argue why I'm watching the show. I don't know. Sometimes things are so bad that they're funny. Like, recently, like, freaking 2 hours ago, parents are binging on Walking Dead Season 5, and I watched an episode of it, and I was like, this is pretty darn funny. So, I put Walking Dead on my list. Another show I'll probably never watch.
If you ever hang out with Gamerpixie, ask her about Walking Dead.
Yeah, and don't watch Walking Dead with me if, for two things, you don't like someone asking questions about everything during the show, because that show brings up a lot of things that are unanswered, and don't, like, if you don't like people getting mad at a show and talking about it, like, verbally during the show, then you probably shouldn't watch it with me, because I get really mad at that show, because it's so, oh my gosh, like, no, we're not going to go down this road. We won't go down this road. We won't.
If we ever get big enough to ever do a convention, I'm going to wait till somebody asks that, because I'm going to encourage people to ahead of time and just let you rant and piss a bunch of people off. They'll be like, oh, yeah. I like that show. And you'll be like, you fucking nerds, this is wrong with it, this is wrong with it, this is wrong with it.
I'll be like, some characters were doable, but some are just freaking stupid. Why'd you do this in Season 2? What the hell was the point of that? And then just, like, blow out the microphone, basically what I'm doing right now. There's this part in the episode where they're like, oh, there's a car half hanging off the freaking overpass. It crashed through the railing. And then they show a wide shot. And I'm like, whoa, that's one strong van because the front of it isn't torn up at all. It's like a perfectly new van. And I'm like, was there just a hole there? And I know you're thinking, what's the deal? Blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Consistency and continuity are something I expect from a freaking show. Okay?
When you have glaring problems like that, it ruins your suspension of disbelief, which ruins your ability to enjoy a thing. Not that I've watched this. I'm not backing you up on it, because I don't watch The Walking Dead. I've never seen any of it, so...
I mean... well, and it's... There's... sorry. There's so much for me to get mad about. Plus, all the characters are fucking... Not all of them are dumb, but... I'm just... Okay... There's another part. Let me get me started for, like, I'm going to pay attention to how long I'm recording just so I can time myself on this, make sure I don't go really off onto a rant, but this is, like, especially Season 5, the special effects are so friggity flippin' bad that there's this part where there's an arrow in a zombie's neck, and Daryl, who's Norman Reedus, is like, oh, I gotta take that arrow, and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. Also, I'd like to point out that the arrow wasn't really that stuck into the zombie, and the zombie was stuck against a wall, and he couldn't move, because this arrow was stuck in his neck, and I'm like, if they're rotten, he actually should just be able to pull through it. like the arrow should go clean through his neck. He should be able to move forward. But apparently the zombies aren't strong enough to do that, but then they're strong enough to knock down doors and push over cars. Like, am I really? Consistency, people. Come on. But the special effects is like, Norman Reedus goes to pull out this arrow, and it's so freaking flippin' obvious that the arrow is on the side of the actor's neck. Like, they didn't bother to create, like, a extra piece of flesh, or even, like, maybe a faux neck, just to have him pull out the arrow of the neck. No, it's, like, on the side, and they did that, what do you call that? You can do it in movies all the time, where it's just like, oh, it looks like he stabbed him, but he really just put the, knife to the side of his body. That's basically what they did.
You mean just the angle that the camera's at?
Mm-hmm, yeah. And it made me really mad because if you watch the first season of Walking Dead and some of the second season, the like special effects were really good. There's also a part where a guy's like, "Look, I'm actually hitting this zombie's head in with a gun," but it really just looks like the guy's hitting the air because it's really obvious that he's not hitting anything and that they just animated a zombie that was probably on I don't want to say a green screen, but they probably did that effect where they shot the same area twice, but just different actors. The zombie falls down. It's okay. I'm done. This is like 2 minutes of me getting mad at something that's not really worth getting mad at, but it breaks it for me. The people are like, "This show's really good," and I'm like, "No, it's not."
There used to be a girl I hung out with a lot. She's just like a diehard fan, and was always like, "You gotta watch it." I'm not really into zombie things. I love the original Night of the Living Dead. The remake is all right.
I like Dawn of the Dead, the original.
Though they're humorous, I love the Evil Dead movies, Army of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I might eventually like pay to see the new one that they're doing. Ash, what is it? Ash versus the Evil Dead, or whatever the TV show is called on, I think it's Showtime, with Bruce Campbell. It's like, I'd love to see that. Like, I like that zombie stuff, but other than that, I'm not, like, a huge zombie fan. All the time I get people being like, "Will you play this zombie game or this game?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not into zombie games.
Which is something, you know what? I kind of admire that, because I think zombies are a dime a dozen these days. It's kind of cool to meet someone who's not into them. Not that there's anything wrong with you if you're into them. I like them.
It's alright if you live a zombie lifestyle. We're not judging. We're just saying it's pretty much the hipster thing to do nowadays, to be a zombie.
Hey, it is, and I understand hipster stuff, dude. I like zombies way before everyone else did, and I remember people giving me weird looks because I loved playing Resident Evil as a kid, and I was like, this is so cool. And to this day, I still like those zombies better, because they're not freaking break-the-rules zombies.
We've discussed it before, but like when the original Resident Evil came out on the first PlayStation, like that game was just... For me, I remember when it first came out and playing it, it was just amazing. Like, the first time you had really FMV in a game that worked. Because there's FMV in games that just was corny. But, like, for the intro scene, and then just, like, you actually had real jump scares. Like, Doggy Hallway and stuff like that, and real twists in the story.
Doggy Hallway. Doggy Hallway. Another thing for you and Chris to experiment with. Just say Doggy Hallway. Could you have a seat, please? In Doggy Hallway.
You'll be more horrified by that than the Doggy Hallway in the Resident Evil.
I guess so. Although, would you rather...
Do we both... Do you walk in and we're there, or do you walk in and we burst through the window and then start humping each other doggy style?
Okay, I think I would want the second to happen, because it's, like, it would be really scary, but at least there's not, like, a meat-eating dog. Well, that's kind of redundant. A zombie dog coming through the window.
Understandably.
What was that?
That was me making a noise. It's just like...
I liked it. Yeah, no, okay. I like it. Yeah, zombies. Overrated. I don't know why I still get mad at the show, because there's no reason to even care anymore, but
That's why I had to bring it up. It's like you mentioned The Walking Dead. I was like, everybody needs to see a little bit of what Gamerpixie really thinks of it.
Oh yeah, oh my god. Anyone's like, "Oh, you want to sit down and watch The Walking Dead?" I'm like, sure, just be prepared for me to be, like, asking a ton of fucking questions about production and also just plot questions. Because there's a lot of questions that are like, why did you do that? You knew this person would be mad about that. Why did he do that? That was really dumb. You knew there were zombies there. Why did you say this? You knew they'd be mad. Why did you... there's just a lot of that where like that didn't really make any sense, but you did. And I kind of understand the excuse that, oh, it's a zombie apocalypse, everyone's fucking stupid and stuff. But I don't, because other times they are smart. So it's just like a trouble of consistency, really. But if I want to say one positive thing about The Walking Dead is that it has a killer theme. But get it?
It made me smile. You can't hear a smile. Smile, emoticon.
Yeah.
So since we're speaking of things that we love so much, though, actually this is something I love. Recently I've been streaming on Twitch more because I'm doing less YouTube videos because I'm sick of the YouTube copyright crap. Which has led me to do two things. Number one, this is the first time I'm going to have talked on it anywhere you can see on YouTube, is I set up a Patreon page because...
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I haven't really talked about it. I might make a video about it. I don't know. I feel so awkward about having one of those.
You didn't tell me, and I'm your best friend.
I haven't told hardly anybody. I mentioned it, I think, once in the stream because there was a link. I didn't even mention it. Somebody asked about it.
Oh, please tell us more, though.
Well, I just made a Patreon page because I was like, YouTube doesn't... My YouTube gaming channel doesn't make a lot of money. I hate mentioning money. But it pays for games and a little bit of my internet, so that allows me to do more gaming stuff. But since I'm losing so much of that fighting these copyright trolls all the time, I thought... Maybe I'll put up a Patreon page, and then if people want to support it directly, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. It's no big deal. And that was just one of the reactions of it. The other thing is, I've been streaming on Twitch a lot more, and Gamerpixie was kind enough to show up the other night. I've been streaming baseball, because MLB The Show 16 is out. It came out last Tuesday, and I've been playing the hell out of it and having a ton of fun.
And it looks great.
It is. The games are faster than ever. The play-by-play thing is gone. I still don't know how that's going to work on YouTube. In fact, I just recorded the other night the first Tug Dick episodes. Will start coming out on Monday if all goes as planned. Which I'm looking forward to, because there's never a bad time to make a Tug Dick video.
No, never. Ever, ever. Also, I wanted to point out that I think there were some pretty rad guitar songs during the stream, right?
Oh, you're making me blush. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good, and I just wanted to say that was actually really cool, and I wanted to comment on it, but I wasn't sure if you wanted people to know or not, but it's on the podcast now, so I guess everyone's gonna know. But yeah, those are some sweet instrumentals, just to say.
Much of the in-game music, because of the copyright stuff, I turn off the in-game music, and the sweet thing of the PS3, and the PS4 version, I think you can do it now too, is you can put your own music in, so over the last couple of years, I put in my own instrumentals, shit I've played on the guitar, and I have added a couple of new ones on top of the ones from years past. I have a couple more I want to finish recording when I get some time. In fact, I might do that later tonight, I don't know, or later in the week.
You're gonna be, like, really cool and, play some guitar after we're done talking and be like, it was an end to a good day.
Well, one of the ones I made, too, is once in a while you see it in the in-between screen. Like, if you're in the menu where you can see, like, what is it, how you access games and where you are in the standings. When a new song comes up in the lower right-hand corner, it'll say what the name of them is. And one of them is I made a Tug Dick theme. So I was like, this song sounds like something Tug Dick would like. It's kind of like 80s hair a tiny bit. I was like, that's the kind of thing he'd like. A little pretentious, so.
Oh, that's actually really swell. I like that. Oh, I don't know, did it play during the stream?
Probably, but probably for a very short amount of time. The other thing I can tell when I hear the newer ones is as opposed to the older things I can do, I'd be like, man, I've really gotten better. Some of those older ones don't sound so good. Oh.
You're so hard on yourself, man.
Well, sometimes you gotta get hard. Wait, is that what we're talking about, Chris Hansen still?
If you want to, buddy. If you want to.
I'd say the other cool thing is I was watching... One of my favorite Let's Players the other day put up a Nancy Drew video. I was like, oh, a new Nancy Drew series.
Ooh. Tell me more.
Had some skeleton man in there. He was very bony.
He was bony. He hit Nancy in the face with some powder. Not to spoil too much, but you guys want to check it out. You've seen Nancy Drew get dust in her face and then she falls over. She's a very delicate detective. I don't know what that stuff was. I don't think that's ever explained. Wait, no, it is. Never mind. Okay. Almost had a heart
Is that in the next episode they're going to explain when you were playing what they threw in your face?
No. You know what? I think it might be one of those ambiguous things where you just know what it is because there's, like, a lot of things that are similar to it. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I don't think they ever actually directly explain that.
So if you want to see,
but if they do, then I'll learn again.
If you want to see a fun Nancy Drew episode, go over to Gamerpixie's channel. There's a link in the description if it's on YouTube. Otherwise, it's Gamerpixie222. There's a hot makeout scene near the end that cracked me up.
Oh yeah! Wait, was there? I don't remember that.
There's something, and you start kissing up on her.
Yeah, and then Pro tip: don't make out with things that can harm you. Well, I guess you're gonna have to like take that risk at some point, huh? Everything can harm you.
Most of my dating life is that way. Where were you like 10 years ago when I needed to hear that advice?
She's like, don't kiss things that can kill you. If you want love, you're gonna have to take that risk, though. You could kiss yourself, but I guess you could kill yourself.
It's not as satisfying for some reason.
It isn't. I remember as a kid. Oh, this kind of goes with the memories, except for this isn't fondness or anything. But I remember my friend and I were like really, really nervous about kissing, and I guess we were like 5 years old, so we did that like kiss your hand thing, and I remember that my friend got really into it, and it was funny to watch. It was really funny. It was like, looking back on it now, it wasn't like she was joking either, so it was pretty funny.
Man, at 5, I guess the girls really do develop quicker. Like at 5, I was just like running around playing in the mud and like, wee.
I was doing that too. I was just like over-sexualized as fuck as a kid, so. What?
I didn't say anything.
I heard a ball drop somewhere.
Yeah, I finally became a man. My balls dropped. I'm like, hey, good looking.
Hi there. My balls dropped too. Hey.
You're Fat Albert now?
Yeah. Now what do you want? You sound like a pig.
What? You're never gonna get... Oh, because I snorted?
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, that's never a romantic thing to say. I thought you'd be like, squeal like a pig, boy. But you're like, you sound like a pig. You're like, oh, them's the sweet pig words I love to hear.
They say big words. I love it when a man calls me his swine. Wait, isn't swine a gender thing? Like, isn't that like a guy pig or what? Or is this just pigs?
I don't know. I just think that's another word for pig, but I'm not a pig farmer, so I don't know. I just date them. I don't raise them.
But don't call Chris a big.
That was doggy style hallway, not commitment hallway. Excuse me.
Just jump back out the window when you're done. I was playing as Chris, and I was just like, oh wait, no, I'm not playing Chris. Not that Chris. The other Chris. The Chris Redfield. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to be Chris Redfield. I want to be the one in the room that goes, oh my god, there's 2 men doing it. Wow, fantasy of mine, and then I'll just leave the room.
You're like, I've had enough fantasy. That's enough joy for today. Time to walk away.
I gotta go kill some zombies now. Zombies that are consistent. Take notes, fucking show.
That is usually the key of any good monster movie, is you have rules for the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first Scream film, that worked because they were toying with the whole idea of these are the, horror movie tropes and rules. In a good monster, you have rules. These are the limits of what it can do. And if you break it, it's only at the end in a, like, climactic way. You're like, oh, I didn't expect that.
Yep. But, nope. People are breaking everything these days. Zombies, hearts, wills. What? Wow, just tell me.
I just imagine you said, like, after Doggy Hallway, like, I'd jump out the window, and then Chris Hansen is like, he broke my heart like he broke my anus. I'm like, oh.
He ripped my butt.
That's where I'm really glad we can't take pictures of thoughts. And that's not something I wanted to think of. My brain's just like, here's some stuff for you to think of. Don't you hate when your brain does that? Gives you a visual image of something. You're like,
yeah.
Why'd you do that? No.
I always think of, like, really, that's what I meant by I think of really sad things, and then all of a sudden I'm like, ugh. Or I think about something I've done back in my life, and I remember that exact image.
My brain does that every day, all the time. It's like, hey, remember 15 years ago when you did the stupid, embarrassing thing? Mm-hmm. Think about this some more. I'm like, oh, really? It's every day. Why?
Yeah, it's like, remember when you said this and you felt really dumb? Well, let's do it again. Let's feel it again. I'm like, oh, okay. Too bad that didn't make me a stronger person. Well, maybe it does. I don't know. if ever a thought wizard comes along and says, I will show you images of your past, I'll be like, fucking already did it.
I don't need to watch it, wizard. I lived it.
Da, 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 da. Brr, brr, brr.
Is that your undersea adventure?
I was doing the theme to Top Gun.
I thought it was going to be undersea like a Jacques Cousteau thing.
Oh, you can if you want.
Here do you see the flounder, called because he is lazy and flounders around. Get a job, you hippie.
Got your hair.
Wait,
Jacques Cousteau.
I was on Facebook. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead. I was going to ask a dumb question. Go ahead.
Jacques Cousteau was a famous underwater guy, like scuba
He was. Yeah, and I can't believe I forgot that, because I actually do know that. I learned that from SpongeBob. Okay, continue.
I was on Facebook the other day, you're like, oh, great old man story. I was on the Facebook, masturbating to pictures of people I don't know. We all do it.
Ooh.
And I wasn't doing that, but I came across a picture of, from like the 50s or something, or the 40s, of some, probably the 50s or 60s. It was like a protest. Somebody had a sign where it was like, long hair equals communism. I was like, is that really how it worked back then? I was like, yeah.
I guess. Well, I mean, people do stupid stuff now, so I guess stupid prevails.
That is so true.
Mm-hmm. As bitter sayings of the day.
Would you like to move to questions?
Oh, please. What are you going to ask me? What?
I was like, would you like to join me in Doggy Hallway? You're like, this isn't Commitment Hallway. And then you burst out the window, literally.
Go back out. You're like, you weren't done yet. You have to tell them more.
Oh, speaking of bursting out windows, you know, Angry Video Game Nerd, of course.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen it, but he put up a new video, I think it was today or yesterday. And it's like his old ones in that it's really solid. It's like, I haven't seen him put up a video this good in ages.
What is he reviewing? Like a SNES game or what?
Different Mega Man games.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I'll be down for that. I'll watch it.
Questions?
I haven't seen...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Questions? Questions? Any? The board is open for questions.
Alright, Master Ian says, anyway, today I will ask, what is your fondest childhood memory?
Oh, so great memory. Did you say anyway?
Well, that's this thing. Yeah, that's what he wrote. Was anyway, today I'll ask, what is your fondest childhood memory? Well, because he had a comment before that on the last podcast.
Oh,
so.
I thought he just said that. I thought he was like, anyway, today. And I was like, whoops, sorry. I swear to God I was listening. I just didn't hear what you said. Favorite childhood memory or most fondliest?
Ooh.
That's funny, because...
Chris Hansen.
Hansen, please, fondle me. Don't do that. Well, that's not a childhood memory I like, but,
Sorry, just my brain's like, oh, yes, I'd get near him and be like, oh, Chris Hansen, I'm rather fondle of you.
I like it. You might call me a child, but I like you. Okay, well, okay, obviously this is a hard question for us, old codgers. Okay, come on, like, you want
No, I don't, it's just, you said the hard thing and everything was sexual and immature, but, oh god, I didn't mean that way. I'm moving on, because I'm just digging myself a worse hole.
I just got it! Okay.
I don't know if, these are the kind of questions I'm bad at, because I'm like, what was my number one fondest memory ever? And then I'd never have an answer, because I can't think of what was the best, so I'll just mention a couple. I remember, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. I mean, we weren't dirt poor. We were still, we did not have a lot of money. I remember as a kid, there was this old abandoned parking lot. We lived, at the end of our block was this old factory building that had long closed. I lived in the Rust Belt of Michigan, and they had these old parking lots that were dirt, and you'd go play in them, and you'd find used condoms in them. That, this isn't the fondest memory, that, like, hookers had turned tricks in the parking lot, or you'd find used heroin needles.
Oh.
I remember my mom would freak out. She'd be like, don't play with those. Mom, I don't care what age I am. I'm not playing with a used condom. I'm not like, that looks like fun. Gross.
Dude, sometimes people underestimate your intelligence.
And I'm like, I'm not going to play with a used heroin needle. You know, I'm not stupid. And I remember talking to my sister about that once, and she's like, I wanted to play with the needles. They looked like fun.
Whoa.
And I was like,
really?
you know, come to think of it, they do look like fun, but I'm not going to.
They look fun, but they don't look like something... Like needles, man! Were you guys kind of afraid of needles? Like, poking you?
No, I mean, it wasn't like that was the only thing in the parking lot. You'd just run into some. But, you know, you just run around...
tires?
I don't know, it was mostly dirt and gravel in there, so...
And syringe using condoms?
I don't think the syringes are having sex, but who knows? I remember one day walking to school and seeing a hooker walking home, but...
Oh, jeez.
It makes the neighborhood sound worse than it was. But, you know, and when you grow up in that kind of neighborhood, you don't really realize... You don't realize that not everybody does. Because then, like, when I went to middle school, we moved into a slightly more affluent... It was more middle class. It wasn't upper middle class, but a middle class neighborhood. And then, like, when I tell stories of how I grew up, or, like, when I did cartoons and I put, like, needles on a playground, I remember some people would be like, oh, my God! Just so horrified. And then I have other people be like, what? That's how I grew up, too. I get it.
That's so interesting, the difference in upbringing, how you feel so normal with things that are not not stuff you should.
Yeah, but you
be
and I grew up
exposed to.
in different cases. Like, I'm like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, I rode a grizzly bear to school. We all did.
No, I didn't. I lived in shitty California when I grew up, and I just dealt with mostly, like, you know what? This Chris Hansen thing is really taking a theme. I dealt mostly with, like, potential pedophiles.
That's horrible.
Well, yeah, well, I was used to it, so it was... No, I never really got, like, you know, but you deal with, like, the creeper who'd come up to you and obviously was trying to get you to do stuff. Sometimes they were better at hiding that, but yeah, I just dealt with a lot of pedophiles growing up.
So you're making my story sound much better and quaint with the parking lot with the condoms and the syringes.
No.
No, if I had a kid and I was like, okay, do I want a sexual pervert hitting on them or them playing in the... Like, this is... Now I sound like you with the scenario. Do you want your kid playing in a place where perverts are going to try and get with them, or they're going to be playing in a parking lot with used condoms and maybe AIDS needles? I'm going to be like, I'll pick the condoms, needles, because at least they're not getting violated by people.
True that. But I guess, like... I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it, but I can't. I guess you're right. But
you know what I love so far is Masterian's like, what's your fondest childhood memory? And you and I have taken this to a very dark place.
We have heroin needles, fucking pedophiles.
It was fun playing in that parking lot, though. I gotta be honest. I don't know if you felt the same way about pedophiles coming up to you. Probably not, but...
Sometimes they give you things and you'd be like, ha, fuck you, you're not having my ass. So you get free stuff without handing them your butt or having your, you know. This is really dark.
Kids, don't take stuff from strangers.
Don't. And if you really think you can get away with it and you do, just don't do it anyway, because it's a bad idea. Last thing you want is some angry-ass person chasing you down. Which never happened to me, thankfully. But I did get stuff.
Now I can't say what my fond memories were, because this whole podcast, and I feel like this is a good podcast, I'm having fun. We go from to like these horrible things, and then like, I like something nice. I remember one time, so my whole like thing I was trying to get to, but I took a really bad route to it, is we didn't have a lot of money. So at one point, we saved up, me and my friends, we saved up a little bit of allowance, my brother, my friend Chris, and I, and then my folks took us to the store that had candy real cheap. And so we just bought as much candy as we could. And then we all spent the night at my house, and we basically had so much candy, we spent the whole night just getting high on candy and whipping candy at each other. And then, of course, me and my friend Chris, because we were fun idiots, we had Smarties, and we're like, we're going to crush them and snort them like cocaine.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And my brother's like, that's stupid. But I still did. I crushed it, I snorted, and I was like, oh my God, it burns my nose so much.
It hurts so bad, right? I did that too.
Well, I'm glad I'm not alone in trying it. My younger brother was just like judging us, I think, so hard for being stupid, but I was like, look how cool I am. Oh.
Dude, it was always for the funsies. Like, yeah. I'm pretty sure when you did it, you knew you weren't going to get high or anything, or that wasn't even the point.
No, it was just being silly and having fun, exactly.
Yeah, it was like literally just to be like a little idiot. Yeah, I did that. Also, oh God, what else did I do with candy? Halloween is probably best for fond memories, but...
That's a good one.
Oh God, there's an ant on my desk! Ugh. I'm gonna kill it. Keep recording.
I don't know if I can do fond childhood memories as you're murdering a creature.
Yeah, whatever. Fondest childhood memory. A rat died in the wall between the shower and the bathtub, and it literally smelled like death in there. Ew. And when I walked in, I didn't know, and it scared the hell out of me because I thought I was gonna die. I thought death had risen. Well, I guess he's always around, actually. I thought death was there, and he was gonna kill me. That's not a fun childhood memory, but that's a true story. I actually almost had a panic attack because I thought I was gonna die, because I could smell death.
I was gonna say, if that's your fondest memory, man, your childhood was bleaker than I realized.
Yes, petties and mayonnaise. Just I like that. Well, I killed the ant, in case you're wondering. Sorry, I'm a horrible person. But it was crawling all up on my hands, and I didn't really notice it until I really felt it, and I saw it, and I thought it was a spider, and then I accidentally killed it earlier.
I don't care how big a person gets, at least with me, when a bug crawls on you and you're not expecting, it always freaks me out. I'm like, oh, what's on me?
Yep, it makes a weird feeling downstairs.
Ooh.
Ooh. Antagonize me.
Antagonize you, is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm sorry.
No, I liked it. That was good. That was good.
It was so bad. Yeah, like Paul here, like my friend Paul here. I do have multiple ones. One I was thinking about earlier, and I find it really fun because I was like really smug about myself, and I actually laughed, and this was the first time that I had done this, really, and basically I was at one of my friend's birthday parties, and we were in an Embassy Suites, and if you don't know what those are, they're just kind of like an expensive hotel, and we were all spending the night. I think there's like 8 of us, and we all got to like camp out in the living room of the suite, and it was kind of nice, and we were just having fun. We're watching some sort of movie, and we're eating popcorn. And I remembered, I was like, oh, I'm going to kind of lie down, watch the movie, and eat popcorn at the same time. So I lie down in a meeting, and a couple other girls lie down too, and other girls were just sitting up or doing something. And the reason I mentioned lying down is it's important. So the mom of this girl, long story short, she was kind of a control freak, hypochondriac, crazy, anxious person, and I feel bad for her, but she was a total bitch, so it's kind of like, I can really feel so sorry for her. But she came in, and she was, like, just kind of staring at us weird. And I was like, whoa, what is she doing? Like, is she spotting the difference? This is really weird. And what she did is she, like, nonchalantly was like, oh, girls, remember not to eat while lying down. And I was like, what? And her oldest daughter, like, on prompt, like, little soldier, sat up and was like, so we don't choke. And, like, you could hear all the girls sigh in the room who were lying down. They sighed and they sat up. And I remember, this wasn't usual for me. Like, I probably would have sat up, but I remember that one time I was like, fuck you. And I didn't say that, but I lied down. I was still lying down and I was eating. And I laughed, like, out loud, because all I could think was, like, I have better swallowing skills than a freaking 3-year-old. And I know that sounds inappropriate, but I remember being like, finally, because I used to be a goody two-shoes to that family, and, that's a whole nother drama thing, but basically, like, I was breaking the system, man. I was being a rebel by lying down, and I remember that being a big highlight of my childhood, because I thought it was really funny that, she just acted like we were fucking stupid, and we weren't. And she was like, oh, really worried about you. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't need an adult. I'm 12 years old. I don't really need an adult to tell me not to lie down while eating, because I'm not going to choke to death. So, it's a fond memory for me.
I like how you stood up to the woman. You're like, nope. Gamerpixie does what Gamerpixie wants.
Oh yeah, finally. It took a long time, but by golly, I found a moment, and the moment was right. I just liked how all the girls were sighing, because they were like, oh my god, like, why the hell did you come in here to tell us that? Like, they really were like that, because she was one of those people. She's actually a part of a lot of my not so happiest parts of my childhood. I don't know, some parents are just... what are you going to do with them?
Nothing?
Just hopefully that they, like, fucking get it, that they're...
What was another of your fondest childhood memories? You know what I've learned today is that asking us about something good in our lives doesn't work out so well.
It's hard to talk about good things when you got a lot of I guess, bad stuff fresh in your mind. That makes it sound really negative, but I don't know. I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm a pretty negative person. I guess another one... See, this is the thing, is that it's hard to think about. Like, yeah, the only reason I think I thought about that one is because it was kind of like, oh man, I hate you, lady. I'm gonna lie down and eat my gosh darn popcorn. You can't do anything about it. But, I don't know. Another fond memory.
So the other two I got is, we used to play this thing we called Melting Pot Tag, which was kind of our own version of tag, where we had a couple people that were it, and, like, if you got tagged, you had to go to sit in the spot and have other people tag you to free you. And we played it over, like, 2 different yards, and we had, like, all the neighborhood kids that would play it. I mean, we used to have, like, a ton of kids just running around the neighborhood playing it. That was always fun as kids. And then the other thing, I don't know why I remember this, but we had a big tree in the backyard, at least big for me as a kid. And one day, I took our garden hose and I whipped it up over a branch. And then I took one end and I kind of tied it kind of like, you know, a lariat or a lasso. And I put it on the ground. And the neighbor kid was over and I was like, go stand in the middle of that. And he's like, no, you're going to pull the other end. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, yes, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, yes, you are. I'm like, just stand in it. And eventually I got him to, and then I pulled the other end and it pulled around his feet and it pulled him on his ass.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I couldn't believe he finally, I was like, I couldn't believe he finally, like, listened to me and fell for it. It was, I don't know why I remember it was a jerk thing to do, but it amused me at the time. And sadly, it still amuses me.
I don't think that's sad. I think that's actually kind of cool. I know it is a jerk move, I guess, but I still think it's kind of cool that, one, yeah, you gained his trust over a certain amount of time. Also, you set that up, and that's actually pretty cool. I can't see myself setting that up as a kid. I jumped out of trees with ropes tied to my foot. Ropes that weren't bungee. So that was smart.
Why did you have ropes tied to your foot?
Because it was supposed to be, like, simulate bungee jumping.
Oh.
You should have heard my muscles and bones crack when I hit the bottom. It's basically hanging someone, but by their foot. And jumping out of a tree. Yeah, actually, that's a fond memory. I remember doing that with my best friend. We called them pelican dives for some reason. I don't know why we called them pelican dives. I don't actually think I've seen a pelican dive before. Wait, do pelicans dive into the water to get food, or do they kind of skim across the top? It doesn't matter. But yeah, we used to jump out of this tree house that we had at my old residence, and yeah, we used to jump out during the summer, and it was so fun. But it did hurt really bad. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why I'm, like, a little taller. Because they, like, ripped my muscles a little bit.
But did you even it out by having it on both legs? Or would, like, one leg be way longer than the other?
I had a dominant leg. Like, one leg was...
So if you run, do you run in circles because of that now?
I do teeter like a pirate.
Arr.
I actually do walk, like, pigeon-toed for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but... Yeah, I used to jump out of the tree, which is fun. I don't know if I should tell the story of the podcast, but it was funny. It was a childhood memory. Unless, wait, did you tell the rest of yours? Or
yeah, I've told plenty. So
forth?
Go for it if you have something you want to share.
It does have child nudity in it because we were children, but... So, flag this video.
I'll try not to look. I'm covering my eyes now.
Okay. Oh, mental image. Now we really need that camera to see who's the bigger pervert. See, so I won't mention names or anything, obviously, but I'm trying to think how to phrase this, because I don't know if the person might be listening. Someone I know. So there was this friend that I had, and my best friend and I, this one day, where we were going to go swimming. And I got in a really big fight with this other friend, and this other friend was a boy. And my brother and his friends were already out in the pool swimming around and all that. And I just got in, like, the meanest fight with this guy. And I remember being like, well, you're gonna get yours or something. Something like basically karma. And I think I was like 5 years old or something, and this kid was 8. And, oh no, he wasn't 8, he was like 10. And so we kind of storm off, you know, and I don't really want to go into the pool because he's in there, so my friend's hanging out with me. And we finally decide that we're going to go in the pool. So I start having a screeching fest with this kid again. And this kid does this thing where he runs around to the other side of the pool. And he's like kneeling down in swim trunks. And my friend and I are so mad at him. And then we stop and we start laughing hysterically. Like, we were laughing so hard at this kid. And he's like, he made the funniest sound. He's like, why are you laughing at me? And he's like screeching at us. He's like, what's so funny? And then he runs to jump into the pool, and he like screams as he's jumping into the pool. So he went into the water like screeching. And we were still laughing at him, and we never went swimming. And he still to this day doesn't know that we saw his wing. It was so funny. And like, as a kid, because I was totally like, karma's gonna get you. And then it did. You don't kneel down in swim trunks, okay? Especially if they're like hella small. So that's a fun memory, because I don't know, he did get his thing.
I like how your fond childhood memories are when you're like, fuck you, old bitch, and fuck you, little asshole.
Hey, when you're kind of an anxious, quiet child, I guess those are your best moments, because you're like, yeah, fuck you, man. But yeah. Wing, that was pretty funny. He was so mad. Like, I don't wish I could go back, but I wish I could, like, capture on audio somehow, like, just a way to convey the way he said stuff. He was screeching. Like, it was hilarious. And before he jumped in the pool, you know, we could see his thing for a while. Like, he was screaming at us, and we were just laughing at him, and I think, like, it just made us laugh more because he had no idea. So, there's one.
See, Master Ian, what you have wrought.
Oh, great stories from yours truly.
All right, next question. That was a really good story, though. Eccentric in Texas says, this week's question: you have a band of Vikings that believe you to be a god and have sworn to fight for the death. No. For you to the death. I only read... Okay. That's my problem when I do visual novels. Sometimes I'll read 3 words and make up the rest. So we're a god, and the Vikings have sworn to fight to the death for us. Would you rather have them defend you against... Oh, against? I thought... Oh.
Yeah, that's why I chose the one...
Would you rather have them defend you against 10,000 dog-sized bears or 100 bear-sized ducks? I didn't read this right out originally, because I only read it... When people first write the questions down, I only, like, glance over them before the podcast day, because I don't want to have them too ruined. So I thought Eccentric was like, which would you rather have as your army? And I was like, I want 10,000 dog-sized bears as my army, not which do I have to be defended against.
That's why, like, before we were talking, and I was like, ducks, and then Paul was like, well, would you choose ducks at this point, right?
Yes, yeah, because before the podcast, I always am asking... I've been watching too many foreign streams. I'm always asking the questions. I always ask Gamerpixie ahead of time, do you want to know what the questions are? And so I'll go through them. I was like, ducks and bears, and she's like, oh, okay, I know that one. And I was like, oh, we're going to have different answers, but I'd not properly read the question.
Yeah, I was, like, really surprised at you. I was like, dog-sized bears? Like, really? You'd rather fight those instead of ducks?
Yeah, and I was like, well, I want that to be my army. 10,000 dog-sized bears. Bears are vicious, and even little ones, 10,000 of them. Who can defeat them? And I thought she meant she wanted 100 bear-sized ducks to defend her, and I'm like, what the hell kind of army is that?
You're like, can't wait to hear that. No. Okay, so that makes, way more sense.
I agree with Gamerpixie that she would rather have the Vikings defend her against bear-sized ducks, and I'm assuming that's the double bonus of they're going to be easier to defeat, and you have a delicious meal afterwards.
That's another reason. That's another one of the benefits of that I thought of about fighting the ducks. One, they're easy to kill. They're ducks. Like, what are they going to do? Grab your soldier by the head and then kind of twist it a little bit? She's just going to twist with it.
Just throw loaves of bread at them and you'll be okay.
Oh, yeah. Giant loaves of bread. An entire loaf. Well, yeah. Question answered.
It's a good thing, like, there wasn't some sort of, like, Odin didn't show up and ask the question, because I would have been like, yeah, bears. We're gonna have so many bears defending us, and then they attack. No, little bears!
Dude, fucking... And you know what? Dog-sized bears, like, there's some big-ass dogs out there.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, I'm assuming it's worst-case scenario, so, like, yeah, like, big dogs, and then the ducks are, like, grizzlies, I guess. Can you imagine how soft a bed you'd have after killing one duck? It'd be so nice. And, you know, I'm God, so I'd have, like, the biggest bed ever.
Well, if that was your head, it says they believe you to be a god. You're like, I am God. These guys are just deluded. You're like, no, God. I am Gamer God Pixie.
As far as I know, I am Gamer God Pixie. I wonder what I had to do to convince them that I was a god. Huh.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe you pull out your phone and they're like, oh my god, future technology.
Oh my god.
Isn't that how Vikings talked back in the day?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Leif Erikson, the new world's amazing.
Don't you like it? We should put more braids in our beards.
You look beautiful. Let's go rape and pillage. I love the raping. I kind of like the pillaging myself.
You know, I think the journey is the best part.
Oh, I hate him.
Well, no one asked your opinion, alright? Flubba. What's a good, name for a Northman?
Paul?
All?
Paul. My name.
Oh.
Ah!
I thought you said all, and I was like, all names.
You mean like a Nord type name?
Nordic. Yeah.
Thor, Odin, Leif Erikson,
trying to think of
Ballsy McBallselson.
Ballsy. I like that one. I'm trying to think, because I get most of my Nordic stuff from, like, well, not my Nordic stuff. I get names from Skyrim. And for some reason, I'm drawing a freaking blank, which is annoying, because, wait, not Alfred.
Maybe you did too. The moment you said that, I saw Batman with Alfred the Viking Butler.
Da, 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 da. I know.
He's got his axe as he's doing things for Batman.
If you say so, master.
Cuts the Joker's head off. It's done. It's taken care of, Master Wayne.
Jeez, Master Wayne. Your servant is showing you up! Whoa, just broke the microphone. No, out. Sorry, that was probably the most attractive part of the podcast.
See, when I think of Viking names, I think of names like Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper. So.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Culpepper is such a name that makes me want to eat, like, cheddar soup.
What?
I know. Someone I met recently has the name Culpepper, and I'm like, oh my god, I need some soup. Because Culpepper, you put pepper in there.
So like, if you guys are on a date or something, they're like, baby, I need you. And you're like, I need cheddar soup.
I need cheddar soup. Like they said it. No, what was I going to... I have to get this off my brain. Not Alfred. Alfric. Is Alfric?
I don't know, but it would sound like it could work.
I guess. I mean, ballsy works. According to you.
I've never been to Norse countries, so...
You're northerner than me.
Yeah, but I don't live in the Norse countries. I live in Michigan, USA. The kind of names we have around here. Things like John and, I don't know, Fred and...
You gotta have some Nordic names.
Eric.
There you go. Should we end this?
Sure. Awkward silence. Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just got the giggles again. Go ahead.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out for episode 23 of, apparently, the Hackcast. I hear someone hacking in the background. I had a lot of fun. Sorry if I creeped you out. It's all Gamerpixie's fault. Thanks for hanging out, Gamerpixie.
It really is. Oh, no problem. And thanks for hanging out with me, man. Thanks for listening, you guys. I almost said watching. I almost did a Paul. The audience.
I didn't do the audience. I'm not that much of a whore yet.
Oh, okay, okay. We'll see.
I'm rubbing my dick on the mic now.
Ooh. Are you standing up?
You're like, why can't I hear anything? Shut up!
Shut up, fucker. Alright, you guys, thanks for listening. Bye. Bye.